have Congressman Mike Rogers, the Republican chairman of the House Intelligence Committee from my home state of Michigan, saying the decision will threaten the lives of American soldiers for years to come. Exactly now is Lois Lerner saying about all of this. These are, in fact, her emails, right, Tracy? You have some really strong rhetoric, Michael, coming from the other side. The police union president saying that these people have miserable lives for calling attention this way because, you still have to go through the grand jury. This isn't a process that can go around that grand jury. So you have on the other side folks who are saying, it's just grandstanding and that's all that it is. Open auditions are being held at the public auditorium, and that's exactly where we find Channel 3's Tiffany Tarpley. Tiffany, now's the time to warm up the vocals. All right, Chris, get ready for this story. Imagine pulling up to a stop sign when suddenly the ground gives way and your car plunges into a sinkhole. Yeah, and happened Saturday in Evansville, Indiana. Everyone in the car, thank goodness, made it out safely. A utility spokesman says the hole was caused by a leaky 70-year-old brick sewer line.
I'd be screaming like crazy. Yeah,
and I'd be joining you too, but my arms would be in the air like, ah! All right, we are going to take a look at this morning's thunderstorms, the effect of it anyway. Look at that flash flooding there. Now, the good thing is that only in pockets of our communities the water came and it went, which always happens with flash flooding. So we're lucky that these images were only temporary. I'm Hilary Golston alongside Matt Wentz. Andrew is off, and I told you I was driving across the country, and I was hoping for some rain because it was
some relief.
So hot.
Yeah, you were dealing with what, plus 100 heat across majority of states out there. Right?
I mean, Utah, we were talking Kansas, it was like 120 degrees. Mojave Desert, like 125, crazy. And we also want to thank you for that live report. I'm so glad we also have you as a gym to add here in Northeast Ohio. Thanks so much, Dorsina. Aww. Tonight, we begin with breaking news in the Tierra Bryant case. Authorities confirm remains found on Thursday belong to Tierra Bryant, the teen that went missing in Middleburg Heights in 2015. Dorsina Drakeford has been following this story, and family members certainly have been waiting now for more than 2 years to get the answer to the question, what happened to Tierra Bryant?
It's a very good question, and we just found out the answer.
She went missing from Middleburg Heights, but she was also found in Lorain County. So do we think that Cuyahoga County is going to be involved at all in this case? Welcome back, everyone. You're looking at some pretty intense storm videos. They had some strong storms in Columbus. There you saw that overturned bus. It almost looked like really serious damage there. But the good thing is we didn't have any injuries to report, and nothing quite like that here, although I'm sure it affected our weather.
All of it went down to the south. This morning, we got the rain shield off of those severe storms.
There you have it.
I love that you even got the fireworks in there because it was like a fireworks kind of finish.
Was that fun, huh?
It really was.
We should bring some powder out here. I think that would be, hey, great forecast.
Exactly. That sounds really good, except anthrax, remember that? We don't want one of those scares, right?
Okay. All right, I'm back.
Hey, don't laugh at me in the booth, Vince. Thanks for joining us. SNL is coming up next. We got another encore presentation of SNL with Emma Stone and Shawn Mendes. See you guys later.
Thanks for watching Channel 3 News.
Mother Nature just is to water her lawn. Hilary, back on over to you.
I guess she really does. And you got the ponchos in there, the galoshes, you got the umbrella, you got cards flying at us. I mean, it's like, and you delivered some pretty good weather. You know what I mean? You had the whole package.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Michael. We appreciate it. Coming up, the Indians wrapped up their series against the Yankees this afternoon, but it did not go as planned at all. Super Dave coming up next with the highlights in sports.
Live here in Hamburg, Germany. Now back to you.
And Jane, we saw tens of thousands of protesters swarming the streets of Hamburg and those clashes with police. What can you tell us about the state of the protests now?
Yeah, much calmer at this point, Hillary.
So let's move a little bit further down the Lake Erie coastline. This is a story for the birds. There won't be a wind turbine out west by Camp Perry. Advocates say they are super happy about it. The National Guard Bureau was going to build in that area, but a pair of burn activist groups pushed a federal lawsuit over this issue. The group have since dropped that suit. Advocates were upset that the turbine's foundation was already installed before federal wildlife officials produced an opinion about the turbine's effects on the birds and also bats. So by now you've heard about all the local Sears stores closing as the company tries to get its finances together. But the company also runs Kmart, and that has another local store, unfortunately, on the chopping block. The Garfield Heights Kmart on Rockside is going to close early October, so get there before then. It's one of 43 stores in the latest rounds of cuts, one of 3 in Ohio. Sears is one of many retail giants trying to figure out how to survive in this ever-changing landscape dominated by the rise of online retailer Amazon.
Okay, Hillary, cue up the cute cam then.
This is Channel 3 News at 11.
We're starting with breaking news tonight. You are looking live at the scene on 271 northbound near Broadway. We believe this is in Cuyahoga County, perhaps near Bedford.
There is a very large backup, as you can see there on your screen. Basically at a standstill, that road now a parking lot.
And we also believe this is close to Bedford. You can see there are a lot of emergency crews responding, a lot of flashing tail lights as well. It's probably best to avoid this area. You can see there's a large portion of 271 that's affected with this current traffic conditions map. So that's a real-time look. Probably best to stay clear. Again, 271 north near Bedford. We'll keep you up to date here on WKYC and, of course, at WKYC.com. Well, the working theory here is that this male suspect actually with dreads ran right through that tunnel here. That's what witnesses who actually saw what happened are telling us. But a 9-year-old, 2 people, a man and a woman in their 30s shot. They are stable, and this now becomes a story of what ifs. I just spoke with a child who was standing next to the girl. His mom says he is often in that exact same spot. He plays games out there. He not only saw what happened, but it's possible the bullet could have hit him. And of course, this is something that no child should have to witness.
It almost hit the old man house too, and it almost hit her house. Look, yeah, it's a bullet right there, it's a bullet hole right there, and it's a bullet hole right there. Yeah. They shot through there, and it's leaking. They made something leak out of that window.
Are you okay?
Yep.
He was sad, but I told him, like, God is good. Don't worry about it. It ain't your time. It was a reason for you not to be in there. When I said.
And Russ, that is a chilling reminder of the status of shooting violence here in Cleveland. You have a young child recounting seeing another child shot in the leg. We do know that that young girl was shot in the leg along with a woman. And we also know that the man was shot in the arm. We're told that he is in surgery. And right now, Russ, is something I've brought up actually today. It is a question of continuing violence. We're going to hear at 7 o'clock from someone who says, of course, this needs to stop, and the person who ran away needs to be apprehended by police. Russ.
Of course, and you're right, chilling, hearing that kid. Oh, my goodness. All right, Hillary, thank you. Hilary Golston is at the scene and begins our team coverage. Hilary, good evening.
And good evening to you, Russ. I have never seen the police chief the way that I saw him tonight. Tears were welling up in his eyes as he told us the news that the 6-month-old that had been shot in the chest had died. There were shouts of anger and tears of sadness over the violence that everyone, and I mean everyone, feels has got to stop.
It's tough. It's tough.
Cleveland's police chief, like the city he serves, heartbroken.
We got to do something about it.
A rare moment, the chief losing his composure over senseless violence directed at the very young.
When are we going to stop counting babies being killed out there in the streets for nothing?
A lot of tears tonight over the death of an infant, a 6-month-old baby's life over before it began.
It's just so crazy here that I'm ready to move my dad back down south because I can't take this anymore. This is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous.
Police say the little girl was shot on 143rd near Kinsman while she sat in a car with her mom and likely 2 other adults. Police say the bullets entered the car. The baby was taken to the hospital, but it was too late.
What can you say? Other than the fact we all feel the same pain.
Police surrounded apartments near East 145th and Spear Avenue. We're told K-9, SWAT, even a chopper were brought in. Police haven't said why.
Mayor Jackson had to face the fact that he lost control of the east side.
Some out here were fed up today with the deaths of small children, chanting, calling out the mayor.
Lost control of the east side. He's good downtown in the west
As
side.
people look to place blame for not stopping the violence, the blame for who killed the baby rests with the shooter or shooters.
My guys have been instructed to make sure that we stay on this as long as it takes. I mean, we want bodies in jail tonight.
And I think everyone is looking to find and bring the people or person responsible to justice. And that's why police are calling on anyone who knows anything or thinks they may know someone who knows something to reach out to Crime Stoppers, reach out to the Homicide Division and tell them what you saw or heard or know. They are hoping to put someone in jail tonight, as the chief said. Russ.
Hilary, what was Mayor Jackson's response when Art McCoy said to him, "You've lost the east side of Cleveland"?
I think a lot of people know that there's a lot of frustration in the city over the violence that has touched especially the young among us. And so I think Mayor Jackson knows that and just sort of did not respond as Art McCoy was making those comments. And there were those out here who also said, you know, we stand with Mayor Jackson in his fight to do something about this terrible violence. Russ.
Okay, Hilary Golston, we'll see you later in the broadcast.
This case has gotten international attention as a political cog in the wheel to bring about police reforms. But on the smallest level, a family is aching after the loss of a youngster. Tamir's dad says he had no idea his son had that airsoft gun. And today we found out who gave it to the 12-year-old. An exclusive interview with a father finally ready to speak. A moment seen round the world. A 12-year-old shot and killed by a rookie Cleveland police officer. Tamir Rice's father remembers the moment, where he was, and what he thought.
I couldn't believe it.
Media across the world reported on the story. And for the first time, Leonard Warner is speaking out, sitting down and talking exclusively with us, one-on-one.
I'm feeling like still down and out. I'm back home with my mother, taking it real hard.
Warner's mother came with him today in the role of supporter, but she's also Tamir's grandmother.
Oh my goodness, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me in my life.
When Rice was shot, he had an airsoft gun. Police say they thought it was real. Do you know how Tamir got the gun?
No. The only person know is him.
The Rice family attorney, Walter Madison, says he knows. Madison says it came from a 16-year-old neighbor who lent it to Tamir while the teen charged a cell phone. Madison says the shooting wasn't justified. He wants
justice for Tamir, and the video speaks for itself.
The way Tamir died, at the hands of an officer. Hard to explain to Tamir's siblings.
Every time they wake up, they asking about him. When they go to sleep, they asking about him.
And what do you tell them?
I can't tell him, but he's watching over you. I can't see him grow up to be a man, me having grandkids, him giving me grandkids.
The thing Warren looks to now.
Some closure.
And what does closure look like to you?
Why they wait so long to do everything, knowing he could be still here.
I did ask the sheriff's office where they are with this investigation. John O'Brien, a spokesman, says they are still looking into it, but no update yet, Russ. All the reasons that you mentioned, that's why we wanted to do this one-on-one, the only one with the star senator in Northeast Ohio. But if the pundit spin is right and he is tapped in 2020, if Hillary Clinton doesn't win, it could be the kind of situation where we want to have that opportunity to speak with him first. And I want to tell you, we really got into something even before the official interview was on.
You could have given it a little more rhythmic clap. I know, but
that'll make it difficult to do a cut, right? Our photographer was right. We did use it in our interview with not your typical U.S. senator. Down and dirty, all natural.
the dog would get bigger.
The former mayor of Newark, New Jersey, turned senator from that state. Cory Booker, even labeled a political future star.
A Snapchat. Okay.
A pretty robust social media presence and even a Snapchat game, making him something of a political rock star with young people. I think you get this razzmatazz amongst millennials.
Maybe it's the fact that I shaved off all my hair and nobody can see how gray I am, so they think I'm younger than I am. I don't know. The reality is I feel blessed that Secretary Clinton personally asked me to get involved and engaged.
Secretary Clinton may have reached out to Booker because she is trailing Trump by almost 3 points in Ohio. Early voting up, some of Clinton's key demographics down. Are you an indication, the fact that you're being pulled out, to go to these swing states, does that mean that perhaps Hillary Clinton has a problem with blacks still, considering the fact that they're not turning out in early voting like they did in 2012?
I was here 4 years ago and 8 years ago for Barack Obama in the same period of time. So I'm a guy that has been since 2008 engaged by candidates to go out there and try to raise people's consciousness. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about you, because that's part of the reason why we're sitting down with you specifically. I think this is your life. We should you. Absolutely not. No. All joking aside. So what are you saying? Are you saying you won't run in 2020? I'm saying that Hillary Clinton will be president in 2020, and I'll be back here fighting for her re-election.
Now, it was a pretty robust trip here for Senator Booker. He started actually his day in Michigan and then made several stops in Ohio before he actually came here to Cleveland. And he said he's been to the Buckeye State a number of times before. I think it might be appropriate to start with this stat, 0. That's the percentage of black voters who are picking Trump over Clinton in a recent poll in Pennsylvania and Ohio. And Pastor Scott is making no bones about it. He thinks that race is playing a big role in why he's getting a lot of national and, of course, local attention. But first, I want to start with a question I asked Pastor Scott about some of the comments Trump made about illegal immigrants. Saying that they are rapists, that these people are murderers, and that some of them are good. Some people would say to just point out a few who are good, that's problematic.
First of all, if you're illegal, you're breaking the law. There are no good illegals.
Why? Why do you think you're getting so much attention?
I don't know, because Hillary Clinton's running for president.
Do you feel like you're in the hot seat?
No, I'm cool. I don't have a hot seat. I'm not, ain't no seat hot for me.
Why are you attracting so much national focus? I mean, the spotlight really is on you. It's not like you're the only pastor in America who's supporting Donald Trump. Why?
Because I'm black.
Cleveland really does rock. So we've got some really cool drone video from over that brand new public square. Thursday, if you're into it, you can see a rededication. But today, a lot of local folks got to enjoy it for themselves. And that's before all the bustle of the RNC comes to town. Our own photojournalist, George Payamjis, takes us there.